Hello, everyone, and welcome to this talk. I'm delighted to introduce James Lee. He's a director at Jones Healthcare Group, and he'll be telling us a little bit more about one of the really interesting applications for printed electronics, which is improving medication adherence with smart packaging and the role of printed electronics therein. Just before I hand over the stage to James, I'd like to know that the networking session also starts after this talk. This room stays open for 30 minutes. If you have questions, type them in on the right hand side. Don't be shy. We get them all answered, and we stay in this room until more or less all the questions are exhausted. So without further ado, I hand over to James, and I'll make myself disappear. So James, over to you.
Thanks, Kasha. Okay, so hello everyone. My name is James Lee. I'm a director of the innovation group at Jones Healthcare Group. So 20 minutes isn't a lot of time, so I'm going to tell you a little bit about our use case application, what we're doing with printed electronics. So first of all, nobody here probably knows who Jones Healthcare Group is, so I'll just do a quick little talk about that. I think it's important to define what medication adherence actually is, because unless you're in the healthcare and pharmaceutical industry, you probably don't know. So we can talk about the implications. Then a little bit about our journey on how we actually got to this point and our product that we're currently commercializing, which is our CPAX connected packaging. So very quickly about us. What do we do at Jones? We are packaging the future of healthcare. That's what we like to say. We're a packaging converter and packaging filler in Canada that has over 100-year history of actually working in the pharmaceutical and healthcare industry. So healthcare is not actually, I guess, something we do per se. It's more of our market that we actually service. But as mentioned, I think it's been 100 years of innovation to provide solutions to the pharmaceutical industry. We have three divisions, actually 3 divisions plus my team, which is a little bit strange, but we have our cartons and labels division. That's where we make packaging the noun. We produce folding cartons, PS labels, inserts, leaflets, things like that for the pharmaceutical space. We have our packaging services division, which is in the Toronto area, where we take bulk pharmaceuticals into FDA and Health Canada registered clean rooms to provide primary and secondary packaging services. And then finally, we actually produce pharmacy and medication adherence products. So these are packages the noun, but what it is it's packages that have to be filled by a pharmacist at time of dispense. Now, my team is the Innovation Solutions Group, and what we work on is we service all divisions, and we work to try and solve different business problems, societal problems, using innovation and R&D. So quickly, what is medication adherence? I think that's a very key and important topic here, because that's what our packaging is trying to attack in terms of a challenge. And the basics of it, medication adherence is really when prescriptions never get filled, when people forget to take doses or take medication at the wrong time. And the statistics right now actually show that, according to the WHO, 50% of prescribed medication globally is not taken as directed. So we're not doing well in terms of adherence to our medication regimens. Now, studies find economic impact to this, and this is a more holistic kind of look at the entire healthcare system. But just as an example, we could look at the fact that medication adherence costs somewhere between $100 and $300 billion to the US healthcare system, 125 billion euro in the EU, 20 to 30 billion in Canada as well. And this is all due to the fact that poor medication adherence results in poor patient outcomes and higher costs, a lot of waste in the system. So why do people not adhere? There's a few different reasons. One, which is pretty basic, is unintentional forgetfulness. If you don't remember to take your medication, then that's a major problem. Another issue that we see is people procrastinate on picking up their refills for medication. If you're on a chronic medication and you need to refill it every